Fantasy football. Fantasy football is upon us. It is closing in. I've been doing my rankings. I've been doing all that kind of stuff. And I wanted to tell you guys that I'm going to be doing a fantasy show on my channel. I guess it's really not a show. I guess it's called this. I guess it's more of a segment. But I'm going to be doing a fantasy segment on my channel. I've wanted to do it for so long, and I'm just gonna get it started. I'm just gonna get it started. It's gonna be called Fantasy Beast. I'm gonna be doing it at least once or twice a week, and I'm just gonna be talking about fantasy football, because fantasy football to me is so important during the year, during the season of football, because not only one, it's very competitive, it's very, very fun to do, it's easy to do. I mean, it's free to do if you want to do it for free. It's something to do during the football season. I don't see why people don't do it more. I mean, I love to do it. I've been doing fantasy football for on and off for about 5 years now, and I got back into it recently within the past 3 years when my girlfriend's brother decided to start a league, who was one of my good friends, and it was a horrible draft I had. I can remember it like it was yesterday, but I had such a bad year, so many injuries, so many duds. But that's how it is. But then last year I had a fantastic year. I ended up getting third place. I had a really, really good bye week in the playoffs. I ended up getting smoked in the playoffs after that in the second week. But what I want to do is that, because during the football season, myself and the Philly Knights, we do our regular preview games, we do our analysis of the post games, and we do little things in between, whether a trade happens or something crazy happens in the league. So I only get about maybe 1 or 2 videos on my channel a week. So with Fantasy Beast, I want to get at least an extra 2 to 3 more videos a week, because I like making videos and I like doing this, and I love football. It's my favorite sport, and I've wanted to do this for a long time. I've had the channel for about 1.5 years now, I believe. It's coming up on 2 years in December, I believe. And I've come to know all these great people, and I know that I want to do it. I want to make the time. I want to do more for my channel instead of the videos just coming sporadically and whenever I have time to make one. I'm going to make a scheduled block of time where if I have to do a half hour, I will do a half hour. So I definitely want to do it. Most likely it's going to be on Wednesdays, because obviously Thursday night games, if I want to do it maybe earlier in the week, maybe do like post football on Tuesdays. Maybe I can do something like Tuesday, Wednesday. I haven't really ironed out everything, but I want to get guys onto the segment with me, whether they're the Philly Knights or they're people that I just play fantasy football with. Some of my good friends that I work with, especially my good friend Mike, who is very, very good at drafting. He's a very good fantasy football player. He's very knowledgeable when it comes to football, especially when it comes to drafting the right players at the right time. And that's the kind of guys I want to get on the show. I definitely have other friends that do their own fantasy stuff, so I'm really, really excited to do this, and I'm really, really excited that I finally took the time to make the video to talk about it. I know I talked to a couple of guys in the Philly Knights. I know my boy Spunky wants to do it. I know that a couple of my good buddies that aren't in the group that I regularly see on a daily basis, they definitely want to do it. So we're going to come in once a week, sit around, talk fantasy football, just bullshit. And pretty much I'm not Matthew Berry, and I'm not Field Yates, and I'm not any of those guys. So I just want to talk about maybe stuff like projections, and maybe I'll take a few games out of the week to look at. And I'm still going to be doing my fantasy team like I did in the past on my channel. But also I want to talk about maybe obviously some sleepers, some deep sleepers, maybe guys on the waiver wire that you should be paying attention to and stuff like that. Pretty much like your average fantasy football channel that you would watch. And I'm really, really excited to do this. And a lot of people shut me down saying this is a stupid idea. It's really not worth it. I get made fun of a lot for doing these videos, especially by my friends. They're always sending me pictures of me, thumbnails of me with the crying Jordan face and just stupid things, and they always sit there and make fun of me. But it's great that they support me because they do watch my videos, and I do appreciate them. So, but I think if getting those guys involved and just sitting around and talking about football, it's just going to be beneficial for everyone, because fantasy football is so much fun. It can be so much fun, and I don't see why not enough people do it. I don't. But so obviously it's going to be starting week 1. I mean, I believe I'll have the first video up the Wednesday before. Obviously before that I'll have my fantasy team that I drafted for my main draft. I'm in another draft for work. I might talk about that depending on if the guys want to talk about it. So, Fantasy Beast, it's coming. I'm really, really excited. Go Birds!